This show features adults using adult language and discussing mature topics. You have been warned. Hello, everybody. Welcome. So you might notice the overlay is a little different here. I thought since the winery is a bit complex, that I'll switch over to the overlay I had for Castle Ravenloft when they were there fairly long time ago now. Been, what, 10 sessions since then? Probably. But in any case, right now what you're seeing at home is the entryway, or at least the way they came in, where this first room right here that you're seeing, it was the glass blowing workshop. But right now they're not in the Wizards of Winery. The group is outside in the middle of the field. Saxton slowly getting up, covered in mud and vine. And there's a few randomly displaced trees that seem to have replanted themselves in the vineyard. So, what would everyone like to do now?
Should probably start by healing Saxton.
Yes.
That'll be fine. Why don't you just chop those trees down out of respite?
Oh, I wanna remind Callie and Nyhm that I gave Callie a self-refueling ring, a spell refueling ring, and a +2 weapon to Nyhm. Well, I made the rapier +2. I cannot make a new.
I like to think it's like a high steam-powered rapier somehow. I don't know why it would need to be steam-powered, but it is now.
Yeah, actually, Tim-Tam, it's not very steam-oriented. It's more like runes and stuff like that.
Oh,
but yeah.
Did you guys ever see the anime Big O?
Yes.
Yes.
I imagine the rapier has a, I can't remember the name of the word, but the piston type hilt, like the arms of Big O.
Okay,
so
yeah.
Just as you go forward, it slams forward to give the additional piercing.
That's kind of what I was thinking. And for some reason, I was thinking steam-powered for it.
You have to shoot chains on the ground because you hit so hard.
It's kind of like the punch dagger weapon in Bloodborne.
Yeah.
But in any case, so to refresh why you guys are here to begin with, is because Valaki and pretty much everywhere in the valley has been out of wine, since this is the only place that makes local wine. The Vistani have actually left the valley in order to find some more outside of these lands. And you all went here to investigate not only why the winery hadn't been doing its shipments, but also because you heard that the Nightmare Coven of witches, of hags, that has been a thorn in all of your backsides for most of the time you've been in the valley, visited here at least at some point.
Okay,
there was a weird spore pod thing in one of the rooms that you guys didn't take care of, but you definitely saw it in there, and it was making the air foul with this orangish burnt rust colored spore mist. You ran into only a single living druid wildling creature, and they had poisoned one of the vats of wine.
Where is Nyhm?
I think that's all you guys really visited.
I was running up with the rest of them after you were downed in the field.
Okay, so safe to say that you're nearby now?
Probably.
Do you still have that wine skin on you?
The poison one?
Yeah.
Yes.
Can I say it for a second?
Sure.
I'm exhausted. I need a drink.
You're an idiot.
Yeah.
It's poison.
I'm still thirsty.
Give me that back.
I want to take a drink of it.
You notice the vines that are on the trees that were moving at one point are now already quickly withered and blackened and dry.
Do we know if we've cleared the building or?
Well, every room you've been in, I believe you've cleared, but you haven't gone through all the building at all. You mentioned something about going to the basement at some point, if I recall.
All right. Would it be safe to say that we cleared the upper floors at least?
Let's double check here. You were starting to check out some of the rooms, I think. You didn't even get to check out the rooms, really. You just got to see, like, the crane overhead that was, like, overgrown with stuff. You were checking out the rooms down below, actually. And you pretty much cleared out the whole first floor. The ground floor.
I thought we were on the second floor when we went through the windows because we all jumped up on the roof, the second roof.
Yes, you've all been on that balcony up above where all the vats are at, but that's the only places you guys have really explored upstairs.
Oh, I thought that was one of the last ones remaining upstairs. Never mind.
Well, I'd dust myself off and start heading back towards the winery then.
Okay. I assume you head up to the balcony? Since this is where you guys were before?
I have a different suggestion.
Mm-hmm.
I understand Saxton's plan to try and clear the building to make sure we're not going to have anything else come behind us as we're going down into the cellar. It may be more prudent to go ahead and head down in the cellar because A, if there's anything in any of the other rooms that was like the first room, then once we open the door, that's going to start some crap. But if we go ahead and head downstairs, if we don't open any of the other doors, it's more likely that they're not going to come through them while we're downstairs. What do you guys think?
Well,
Yeah.
Do you want to have Callie cast invisibility on you and then you recon, see it, look in the basement, see what you can see?
I mean, I don't think I
can do
would need
that.
the invisibility spell.
I got
I mean, no point in wasting a spell slot if I could just stealth it. I can
Yeah.
go ahead and recon it, though.
All right. I guess just try to stealth and see what you can see down there.
Cool. Please wait at the top of the stairs, just in case.
You want me
Okay.
to do warding bond on you so that if you take any damage, I will take the damage and you will only take half?
No, I'm
Okay.
fine. Especially since I don't plan on
I'm a
taking any damage
beefcake.
to
I can take it.
So if everybody's cool with waiting upstairs, I will definitely try my best to stealth to the cellar.
Okay.
Okay, give me a stealth check.
Copy that. Double check to make sure of my stealth bonus. Okay. 31.
Oh, that's all. Okay, so, you head back into the glass blowing area where you were before. I'm just moving the map and explaining it long term so people can see everything. Then you head back out into the room with the vats, and then you take a left, and you take the first door on the left side, which was a stairway that went downstairs. Because if you remember, when you went to the right, there was like a ramp that went down. So as you take the stairs down, which would be maybe a little easier, I don't know. You end up in the cellar, and you can see that wooden pillars and beams support a 10-foot high ceiling in this ice-cold cellar, which is split into 2 by 5 foot thick brick wall. A thin mist covers the floor, And a bit of that spory fog is down here as well. It's not as up in the air though. It's like just barely to your nose in height. Considering how short you are, that's not much of the room. Each half of the cellar features an 8-foot tall wooden partition that doubles as a wine rack. The one that you see as you come down is empty. And the only disturbance you see down here is your movement going through the spores, as they seem to move almost like ripples in water.
Okay. Close to my position, are there any... I'm probably going to mispronounce this. Sconces? The torch-holding things on the wall?
No. And now I think of it, I need a Constitution saving throw from you.
Crap. All right. 18.
Okay. You can't help but cough a little bit in here, but you're able to cough quietly. So like your body's still doing it, but you're able to hide the sound of it with your 30 plus stealth.
Okay. Looking down either side, you said I don't see any type of movement through the fog?
No, and it's completely silent down here too. Completely
Thanks.
dark. You don't have dark vision, right?
I do have night vision goggles, yes. Thanks to our wonderful Tim-Tam.
That's right. Yeah, you don't see anything. It's hard to see if there's anything on the floor or not. Maybe like broken furniture, possibly. You're not quite sure because like the first 2 feet of the floor is covered in this spore fog stuff.
Okay. I would head back up and let everybody know, especially about the fog part. And then I'm probably going to need to stand on Saxton's shoulders. So, since I'm the only one short enough to be affected by it, the rest of you can probably walk through that relatively unaffected. As for me, I need to piggyback right.
Does it look like that the spore fog is emanating from the room that's up here and just flowing downstairs?
You couldn't tell, Nyhm.
Couldn't tell you. It just was solid, no other movement, but
I
Can we
would like to investigate the fog.
Okay.
I mean, just in case it can be also like a region or something.
As you head down to the cellar, you also notice that the temperature down here is drastically colder. Like you can see your own breath.
It's a cellar, so.
You have night vision, right? I think Corvums have it.
No,
No?
for some reason, well, I guess because we already have a lot of stuff.
Well, if Nim wants to hop on, I'll go downstairs with a sword to light up the place.
Well, I can make myself a glowstone or something if necessary. Glowstick.
Give me a Constitution saving throw.
$17.
Okay. As you head down, you don't really see or hear anything out of the ordinary. Besides this weird spore fog. You can give me an investigation or perception check if you want. I would say at disadvantage because this fog is very impeding on vision, whether you have dark vision or otherwise.
6.
Okay. As you search around, you don't really find anything when Saxton, you come down with Nyhm, and that's when you noticed coming up out of the fog is what appears to be some kind of humble folk. And they like lurch up quietly, but in a unnatural way, like their spine was bent in half, and they look like they're about ready to attack they're about ready to attack Tim-Tam. And I
How
think
far
that's
away is
when
it?
we'll roll initiative. It is... Let's look on a map here. It is really close, especially for you, Mr. Monk. It's like 15 feet away, in the
Well,
middle of the room.
if as we getting ready to attack Tim-Tam, I would have charged and tried to get it first.
We'll see who initializes first. It'll probably be you. Yeah, it'll probably be you. So, Tim-Tam, what'd you get?
So 20,
Okay.
which is one of the highest I've ever rolled in this campaign.
Unfortunately for you, you are considered surprised, so the first round,
Yeah.
you won't be able to do anything. But you will probably go first next time, unless somebody rolls higher. Hemlock, what'd you get?
15.
Ooh, okay. And Saxton?
17.
Oh boy. And then, Nyhm.
18.
Wow, you guys rolled high. So, Nyhm, you're actually the one that can act first. You're on top of Saxton's shoulders. Same distance away, 15 feet away.
I do need to...
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I was just going to say that you see that they're covered in vines.
Okay. The wall that doubles with the wine rack,
Mm-hmm.
would that be enough for me to effectively like climb on to hang on without too much of a problem?
Unfortunately, it goes up to the ceiling, so you wouldn't be able to be on top of it.
Okay, but I could at least effectively hang from the side of it, like one for a handhold, one for a foothold. I mean, probably with an acrobatics check or something.
Yeah, I'll say you can.
Okay. In that case, the first thing that I want to do...
What's your acrobatics?
Plus 12.
Yeah, you don't need to roll. So you do that.
No. I was asking if I could, because I want to
Okay.
use that as my endpoint.
Okay.
Because the first thing I want to do with it being covered in vines is cast my last flaming sphere.
All right, that's a dex save, right?
As soon as I use my bonus action to roll it straight into the freak, yes.
All right. As you do that, Saxton and Tim-Tam will also need dex saves. As the second the flaming sphere appears, it catches all the spores on fire, and the entire basement is engulfed in flames for just a brief moment.
Oh.
I thought to do that with a fireball before we even came downstairs, but I didn't think to.
What's your spell save?
14.
Okay.
You said it's a
I
dex
will-
or con?
Dex.
X.
Oh, okay.
I will reaction absorb elements.
24.
Okay. Absorb elements will give you resistance to it, but you
Yeah.
still need to roll, because even if you do make it, you'd like take half of half.
11 for the dex save.
Okay.
Oof.
And Hemlock, you actually haven't gotten down the stairs yet, so you don't need to.
Mhm.
But you do, like, I don't know if you've ever, like, had a propane grill and you let the gas go for too long, and it just goes like, boom! It's like that, but it's like
Yeah.
a roar of a lion, because it's an entire basement.
Now, is this because the spores themselves are flammable, or is it just like the heavy particulate combustion?
It's just rapid combustion of all the spores.
Okay.
Now, does the creature have to do that as well for the floor?
Yes.
Before it does it for my fireball?
Well, it does it for your fireball, and it made your fireball sphere, but it didn't. It needs to roll for that as well.
Okay.
But it
so
fails on
it
that.
takes- okay. It only wait.
It
so
makes
it
your
failed
sphere.
on-
It makes your sphere, but doesn't make the fire explosion it causes.
Okay, so it still takes half of what I rolled,
Mm-hmm.
which is 7. So 3.
Okay. And gets hit by that. And then, as you've learned, fire seems to be very effective against these things. As even if it missed it a bit, it seems like it took the damage like it would have felt something normal. Everyone else takes, of course, everyone that failed the DC 14, I'm going to keep the same as yours, takes 10 fire damage and half on a success. Unless you have evasion, I think Saxton's fine.
Oh yeah.
So I should take 10, but I absorb elements, so I take 5.
Mm-hmm.
And then for my movement is when I'll jump over to the corner away from this creature
Okay.
and hang from the racks.
Okay. This room, at the moment, since this is within seconds, is now, the upper half of it is covered in black smoke.
Okay, but the floor is clear now?
Yes.
I guess there's no reason
It's
to
like,
hang from the...
it's kind of singed. It's hard to tell at the moment because you're doing all this is like happening at once.
Okay.
But it's a little singed, the ground is.
Okay. Well, I can at least hang below the cloud of smoke, at least.
Yeah,
just
yeah,
to be able
you're-
to keep eyes on things.
You're fine.
Okay, then that is my turn.
Mm-hmm. Then after you, it is Saxton's turn. This thing is still up, Saxton, but it's barely up. And I would say it has some kind of cover because of the smoke. Not that it matters, though.
Yeah, I'm gonna go up there and stab it.
Okay.
26 to hit.
Yep.
8 piercing.
8 piercing, and it goes down. So, Tim-Tam, before you even realize this thing was there, you just hear it fall to the ground behind you after the fire engulfing.
Oh.
And we're out of initiative, so it's...
Ow.
I am so sorry.
That's okay.
On the bright side, it's taken care of.
You hear fading, like, gas-escaping hissing sounds on the other side of the basement that is blocked off by... that most of it's blocked off by, like, a brick wall divider.
So, Saxton, you want to peek around that corner, make sure we didn't miss any other friends?
You don't want to burn the rest of the building down?
I mean, it's part of our repertoire, but I'd rather not burn us down.
It seems it's going to be super easy to burn the thing on the upper floor.
Hemlock,
Oh.
you notice the smoke very, very slowly, since there's no real wind or draft down there, is some of it is seeping up through the stairway and going up.
Oh, jeez. I don't have anything. But, can I like? Can I like press and digitate it away?
I'll say you can do like a little puffs of air with the presto. Yeah.
How big is the room down here?
Let's see, 20 by 30 by 10. So
How big would my wingspan be?
let's see, how tall are you?
Well, I actually don't know. Taller than everyone else.
I think we went with like 6 foot or something, right? Because 6 foot is pretty tall for humble folk.
Yeah.
Your wingspan's 3 feet.
Can I flap and vent the area?
Yeah, I'll say if you guys put some effort into it and use your wings and whatnot, you can clear out a lot of the smoke. But it looks like
So-
quite a bit of it is probably just going to settle and turn into soot up on the ceiling.
After doing that, go check out the other room down here.
Okay. You go to the other side, and you see the other side. It's mirrored identically, except on this side there are 3 barrels of wine. Well, you assume wine in them. And the wine rack here is actually filled with bottles. And you see a very charred, burnt, medium-sized raisin, and smoke's emanating off of it. And you can see on the ground that there are like a bunch of roots and stuff coming from it, and it was like covering the ground and stuff. But it's all burnt and dead.
I will kick it and make the ash fall to the ground then.
All right, as you kick it, it crumbles into just ashes.
Mhm.
So the problem is that the people in the city don't have wine, and it's abandoned, obviously, and overrun with these spores.
Anything else at examining the room?
Yeah, I think Tim-Tam would notice at the dividing area, there's like a 5-foot thick brick wall divider in the middle of this cellar. That there is a secret door on the very end of it. And you can see, Saxton, that all the way on the far right is the bottom of the ramp that you guys saw upstairs. And it looks like barrels either get rolled up or down there, because you can clearly see like where the marks of the barrels were. And you can see a door down here as well. Everything's slightly sooty.
Okay, secret door.
Okay.
Is it open?
No. You open it?
Hang on.
Is it barred from this side?
There's no bar.
I mean, what's the mechanism on it? I mean, it's like
You see that like one of the
sliding,
bricks
or
is in further than the others, and you realize it's a handle. You can
oh,
pull it open.
Before
Okay,
you
guys.
touch that,
You still have the flame
yeah.
sphere up?
no, it probably would have dissipated by now.
Okay.
Let me check the door for traps, please.
oh sure, be my guest.
Yeah.
Secret tunnel.
Yeah, I want to check it for traps.
Besides looking like this thing is tough to open, might require a bit of strength to pull it open. No traps.
Okay, looks like it's safe.
The if any of you were curious, the barrels down here, they are actually kind of chilled. They're they got the ones closest to the brick wall actually do have a bit of frost on them, and they have labels on each of them. One has purple grape mash number 3. Then the one right next to it says Red Dragon Crush, and then the third and final one is another purple grape mash number 3. And as you open the door, which takes some effort, you are greeted by a blast of cold air. A dark tunnel stretches out for 15 feet, ending in an archway beyond which lies a shallow cave.
There's a secret tunnel.
That's secret tunnel
No lights.
for the moment.
How far in can we see?
Maybe 5 feet. The air coming out of here is frigid cold.
Tim-Tam, you've got one of those fire cantrips, don't you?
Fire catchers?
That you shoot from your rifle.
Oh, I have many fire stones. But yeah, I can shoot.
Just fire one down that and to light it up.
Well, I don't know how much a fireball would. Light the blaze, but I can totally try. Yeah, I'll shoot a fireball down the corridor.
All right. As you shoot the firebolt, everyone is greeted by another blast of cold air as your firebolt seems to go out as quickly as it came. But for the brief moment of light that you see something brown seem to coalesce and almost like it just like morphs around where the bolt went and consumed it.
Nope. Not going in there.
Okay, that was weird.
Does nobody have a light spell?
Wait a second.
Holding the
Mm.
sword, like past the door, how much could we see?
That's when you see it. Inside here, you're not sure of if it's a cave wall, but you just see like lots of brown fuzzy stuff just all over in here past this 15-foot, 5-foot wide hallway. Even the hallway itself has this brown fuzzy stuff. And it actually seems like it's shaped in the direction the firebolt went. And where the firebolt hit is where it's the thickest. Like a reverse crater.
I'm definitely not going in there. I suggest we not do either.
But if there was something kept down here, that's probably where it would be.
I mean, we should probably like at least make this place
Give me,
as safe as possible.
give me Arcana check.
For-
15?
I got a 22.
15.
17.
Okay. All of you pass. That's when you realize this is something you had never actually seen before, but you all heard of from one place or another. This is brown mold. Brown mold feeds on warmth, drawing heat from anything around it. It can rapidly grow if there's more heat added to it. Very dangerous to get close to it, because if you do, it'll actually grow towards you and consume your body heat and kill you.
Oh, we shouldn't go.
You still want to go down there?
And
No.
Tim-Tam, having the highest intelligence, and with the investigation, since you're already looking around for stuff, you're thinking, oh, that's how they keep it nice and cold down here. Nice and refrigerated for the wine.
Oh,
Mm,
So we just found their compressor unit?
In
Smart.
modern terms, yeah.
wicked smart.
Kind of dangerous. Granted, I guess that's why they had the giant heavy door in front of it.
Those of you that got over 20 know that this brown mold is immune to fire. Actually eats it.
Oh. It's immune to fire.
Just gonna
Okay,
push
that
that door
gold-
shut.
Yeah, let's leave it. I mean, this is super useful.
You guys close the door. Never to go back in. And that's
Don't
pretty much
open
everything
that
that's in the
inside.
cellar.
Is there like wine? I mean, like actual wine bottles or something that it's intact?
Yes, actually all of it is, including the 3 barrels that I mentioned before. And they're actually
Okay.
closest to the wall that this brown mold stuff hugs, which is why it's so frosty on the outside. You can see on the wine
Take
rack
picture.
there are 40 bottles. And they are all labeled Red Dragon Crush.
We'll go grab a bottle of that and head back upstairs.
We should probably like try to grab a barrel and at least take something to the tavern. They
Well,
can-
we can after we burn the other spore
mean,
thing
yeah.
down.
yeah.
I do want to knock on the barrels, see how full they are.
Okay, give me a perception check. To see like
My
you
passive's 15. Does that matter?
your passive is fine for this. They're all full.
Whew.
None of these have been tapped.
Nice.
So all the bungholes are plugged.
You had to say it.
It's the proper term.
I know, but not with you.
Hmm.
Anyways, I have a bag of holding?
Not that I know
that's
of.
one of my other characters. Okay.
I don't think there's a
how many
bag of holding
bottles-
in Ravenloft.
How many
Ed.
bottles could I make away with?
Hmm.
You need to have Tim-Tam make you a wineskin of holding.
With your backpack, I would say you could probably get 2 bottles of wine. Because you already got a lot of stuff in your backpack.
Yeah. Okay. And correct me if I'm wrong, the Red Dragon Crush, was that the same bottle that we were presented with upon entering on our first
Yes.
episode?
Yes.
Okay. I will
since you've all had the wine of the land by now, you know that the Great Mash number 3 is the commoner, more cheaper wine, like average wine, and the Dragon Crush is the fine wine.
I say we try to take the barrel and the bottles of Red Crush, bring it back to the tavern at the very least.
Yeah.
May even pay our way for the rest of our stay in this horrid place, and let them know that the others are still here and what to avoid. That way
Well-
they can at least start making trips to try and restock
Yeah, I
the
mean-
town.
We should probably try to make it as safe as possible so they can start to
They don't need us to
produce.
deliver. All we have to do is make sure it's safe. The family comes back in, loads up the wagon, and takes it back to town.
Yeah, but I also want some. So, I mean, if nothing else, like I said, we could deliver the best wine to them and either get a reward or at least some compensation. Like I said, it may even pay for our rooms for the rest of the time we're here.
I'm pretty sure that they would be nice enough. I mean, since they already told us, this is pretty much the only resemblance of joy a lot of them have.
Exactly. And especially since this is the primo stuff, not just the generic over there.
All right, I'll pick up the barrel and take it upstairs.
I
Okay.
do have to ask you, Scotty.
Yes.
I know I can fit 2 in my bag. Am I able to hold an additional 2, 1 over each shoulder, like they were giant maces?
Yes, but you would not be able to carry any weapons or anything else in your hands if you did that.
I mean, if you really want a bag of holding, in an hour I can make one, but there's a big but. I have to destroy one of the 3 items I gave you.
No, I'm good. I appreciate it, though. In this case, I'm fairly certain we may have taken care of everything, and
Spores
not-
upstairs.
I said almost. And if not, I can always set the bottles down if I need to. So I'm taking 4.
Okay. Saxton, what is your strength score?
10.
You go to push this barrel, and it is very, very heavy. Even rolling it takes a lot of effort, and you feel like you'll need at least another person to help you out.
Hang on, I got a thing. Because we just leveled up, so I changed out my spells, and I got enhanced ability, so I can help you. If I give you bull strength, your carrying capacity will double. Will that help?
Yes.
Well, that'd help.
Yes, it would.
I can do it on 3 people. So if all 3 of you really want to be strong, then I can do it.
Wait. I'm being stupid. Didn't we see a cart outside?
Yeah, upstairs. We just have to roll it up the ramp.
I mean, don't burn any spell slots. We can me
Yeah.
and Saxton can take it and put it in the cart. But we should probably like finish making this place safe first.
Yeah, we just
You're
roll
s-
this up the spiral staircase, park it there, clear out the rest of the place, load it, and go.
Your
Yeah.
strength score is 10. I'm stronger than you.
He's a monk, not a fighter.
I'm
Okay.
nimble.
My strength is 10 too. I think it's a bird thing. We have like hollow bones.
By the time you blink, I'm 5 counties away.
It's one of the most Humblewood things I could think of someone saying. Yeah, I think it's just, a bird thing. No, we got hollow bones.
You should be so specious, cat. Hemlock.
Species? What? Didn't say anything.
She just said she's
I
strong.
was-
And then she rolls up her sleeves for the
I'm just
first
strong.
time. For the first time in the whole campaign. And what's your strength?
13.
Oh, you see a bump. You see, yeah.
I'm strong. I could make you strong.
I'm
Too,
strong.
but nobody wants it. I got a spell. I don't know what to do with it. Just let me know if you need something. I will be here. Anyway, yeah, I'll help you.
I'm not going to do any checks for it. As long as you have 2 people, you guys eventually do get it up the ramp.
Okay.
Is that your
I will
can of
help
spinach?
Saxton then. Yeah, I get out a can of spinach from my bag and I eat it and I go, and then I help you lift the
All right.
barrel.
So yeah, obviously I would deposit my bottles in the cart so that I'm not encumbered and I don't have to worry about not having weapons.
Okay, there's a wagon upstairs. But, with some great effort, and a lot of sweating and hard work, both Saxton and Hemlock eventually get one of the 3 barrels up here. And,
Woo!
as you get up there, you can see that there's already marks in the ground from where the iron bands have been on the floor, been rolling on the floor constantly, and it leads straight out to the room where the wagon is at. And if you recall, the wagon was overgrown with vines. It seemed to come from an area above it and just grew downwards and around it.
Right. We're just going to leave the barrel here on the dock for a minute. And let's go in there and you can burn the other spore thing.
Dangerous, but I guess.
Well, we don't have to go into the room. You just fire into it.
We just
Do we
have to
have-
worry about controlling the fire after it starts.
I have wind wall if necessary.
Oh, neat.
Do we have an angle to shoot it from the other room?
You have an angle to shoot the spore clouds and stuff, yeah.
Fair. Okay, so everybody take cover.
All right.
Okay.
Firebolt.
So you just firebolt in there?
Yeah.
Okay, you firebolt. There's a huge fire spits out, but you all are keeping your distance, including you. And a bit of smoke comes out, and you hear hissing. And if you go in there quick enough, you see that the pod thing is making the hissing sound as gases are escaping it, and it's just shriveling up and drying.
I'll go kick it into ash again.
Yep, you kick it, and
All right. And the vines were coming from the roof. Does it look like the vines are coming from this roof and crawling over, or there might be another one upstairs?
you do not see any vines from this room going through the wall into where the wagon's at. You're thinking it must be
It's
upstairs.
probably.
In the previous room, the room that you have to go into to get into the room with the pods, if you recall, there was a bunch of empty barrels in there. It was barrel storage.
Are they burning?
No, they're not, because they're in the other
Okay.
room.
Huh.
I'll say one started to a little bit, but you guys could put it out pretty easily.
Okay.
Barrels are treated and stuff, so that's why I'm thinking barrels wouldn't light very easily.
I mean, nothing really catches fire. I think it's still burning, right? It's like a quick buff.
Yeah.
It's basically when the fire hits, it's just a giant flashover.
Yeah. In the barrel room, there is actually a spiral staircase that goes up.
Hmm.
Not sure if I mentioned that last time. I did if it was in the room description, but maybe I didn't.
Okay, and I start heading up.
Okay, let's see what room that
Yeah,
goes
I'll
to.
go too.
Yeah, it does not say that it goes up there, so cool. You go up the stairs, and you find yourself in a hallway, and there are 4 doors to your right side. And you can see that the door all the way in the end of the hallway is open. No spores
Is
in
it
sight.
emanating? Okay.
So
Does it-
the first door should be like straight up the room we just came in, right?
Yeah, you're in the upper floor now. You went up stairs. You are immediately greeted with a door to your right, and then there's 3 more doors after that, like every 10 feet.
Does it look like any of the doors have the spores coming out of it?
Nope.
I guess start opening the first door on the right,
Okay.
closest to us.
Okay, so first door. This room contains a rectangular table surrounded by 8 chairs, an L-shaped cupboard, and a floor-to-ceiling closet pantry. Next to the pantry is a small iron stove. Looks like it's a dining room and kitchen.
Peering inside, are there any other entrances?
Nope. But there is actually. Wait, sorry. Yes. When you go into that room, there is a small door in the back corner, which you're assuming is where cooking supplies are kept. It's like a little closet area. The door to on the same wall that you guys came in, but it's to the right, and a door all the way on the left, or all the way on the right side. And you can see little bits of vines that seem to be growing from the underneath of that room.
I'll go over there and creak the door, see if any spores are in there.
There is a faint amount of spores in there.
I open the door and step back.
Not much. It's just like the bare hint of it. And this room contains a 4-poster bed, and its headboard is carved the likeliness of a giant raven. A soft black rug covers the floor between the bed and the door. In the corners of the south wall stand 2 slender wardrobes with a tapestry of a church hanging on the wall behind them. Beneath the tapestry sits a handsomely carved rocking cradle. To the north, under a window, is a plain desk and a chair. Other furnishings include a wooden desk, a freestanding mirror, and a wooden frame, and a bunch of vines that seem to be coming through the wall on the back side, in the back corner.
Okay, so I'm guessing this is the wall that's adjacent to the room above the cart.
Actually,
So
it's a bit off from there.
So after coming out of the bedroom,
But
the first door.
very clearly, where the vines are coming through on the opposite wall, the source of them, since you're following their trail, there seems to be like a secret door, and they're like coming through the secret door. That's no longer secret.
The spores emanating from this secret door.
Yes.
Try to creak it open.
All right. With a bit of effort, you're able to creak it open. And I will say you will need another con save as spores spew into the room as you fully open the door.
Flash of genius.
Now, here's the thing: is it disease or poison based?
Good question. It is a disease.
I don't need a save.
Okay.
Oh, never mind then.
I'm immune to disease and poison.
That's why you asked.
Then you're fine.
That's why I
breathe
asked for
them
the
in,
wineskin
You
earlier.
breathe them in, the spores are like, haha! And then they're like, no, monk powers!
My antibodies are there punching them.
Yeah, pretty
Okay,
much.
so you didn't tell me you were immune to that when you asked for the poisoned wine.
Well, if I didn't die, you would have known.
I know. It's like, it's disease or is it poison? Because I'm immune to both.
All right. Well, once it's open, Tim-Tam, flashbang in, please. Now step out of the way.
Okay. I mean, at corridor it's tricky. All the flames will come down here, so we probably should like get out first.
All right, clear out safely.
I'll shoot a fireball. Firebolt.
Okay. As you shoot it in, there's the biggest flash of fire explosion that you all have had out of everything. Through the entire building, you can hear like screeching, and coming through the secret door appears to be some kind of Batra that is on fire.
Oh.
And I'll say, if any of you want to act on it, you can.
Punch it in the face.
Okay, roll to hit.
Is it a foe?
25 to hit.
All right, what damage you do?
Have we met a Batra that hasn't been a foe this game?
9 damage.
Arena?
Try to knock it down.
Mark, Irina, Escher for a...
It was in a room full of spores and it came running out. Do you think it's a good person?
If it's running out, it's on fire. It may actually be sentient and, not undead.
Punch the face in. The face caves in, and it bends backwards, making a horrible creaking noise. And the fire on it goes out. And it goes to... You hear it like snapping back up, and popping out of where its face was is like a vine. And the vine end, there's like a flower. Does anyone else
Never
do
mind,
anything?
destroy that thing. Firebolt.
Okay, roll to hit.
Oh, by the way, I meant to ask that the fight with the witches and the treant and all that, how long was that ago?
Not even an hour ago.
Okay, so Tim-Tam is here. Just so everybody
Bleep bloop.
knows. That's a 17 to hit.
That hits. You do more than 3 damage.
I do 12.
Alright. It is engulfed in flames once again and falls over, still on fire, for another few seconds.
And you were questioning my negotiating skills.
Hey, I just say don't judge a book by its cover, but definitely judge a book if it grows a vine and a flower.
And you hear a
Oh, you're
large slamming noise and you hear the wagon creak
Oh
out
no.
there.
Well,
So there's that.
we have another friend.
And we lost another wagon.
Go. Now that the room is clear, go in there and check it out where the thing came running out of.
You see that this room has a wooden floor with a 10-foot square hole cut into the middle of it. Looming over the hole is a wooden wench. They're still fairly intact, but you think you could use this wench to latch it onto the barrel and get better positioned onto the wagon down below that you see. And you see a hulking piece of burnt vegetation, and it seems to have fallen onto the wagon and then fell off onto the side.
Is it moving?
No.
Tim-Tam, do you mind? Make sure it's down.
Sure, those things are free. Fine.
You shoot another one, how much damage do you do? I'm not gonna have you roll to hit.
I mean, it's well, it depends because it's a country, but it's 2d10 and 1d8.
Okay. There's a bunch of hissing and stuff after like one or two more of those. That pile of vegetation is no more.
Alright. I guess we just have to clear those other 3 rooms and then we're good.
Yeah. How destroyed it's a guard?
The cart looks like it's actually pretty fine.
Okay.
And you do see in this room, that's actually fairly big, are 2 doors on the wall that you guys came in through. It's a very long hallway. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's 50 feet long. And since all of you have some light sources of some kind, if you go to explore all the way down there, you can see that the ramp actually goes all the way up here. So you're thinking you could roll the barrels all the way up here, put them on the wench, and then have the position it using the wench onto the wagon.
Huh.
Going back inside through the bedroom secret door and then past the dining table.
Mm-hmm.
Check the next room on the right.
All right. You find 2 pairs of bunk beds that occupy each of these rooms. And against the west wall of both of them are footlockers.
No baddies.
Nope, not really. You do see, however, that in the first room you go in, there's a few toys scattered about, and one of the toys seems to resemble a children's wooden rocking horse, except the horse is black with wild eyes and has painted orange flames on its mane, tail, and hooves.
A Hemlock, look, it's smaller than a horse.
Okay. I recognize this as one of Strahd's horses, right?
It's like a
You
nightmare.
all recognize it as the horse that he rode in on, that could fly.
I do not like this at all.
You see carved into it is its name, which I know I cannot say. So here you go. I'll put it in Twitch.
Bucephalus.
Bucephalus? That's the name of a cyclops
Oh, then there you go.
in Greek mythology.
Is it? I've never seen that name
I-
before in my life.
I'm pretty sure it's the cyclops in the
Hercules movie, right?
no in the in
The
the actual
Odyssey?
book, the Odyssey. Yeah, right. I think it's the actual.
Huh.
Well, come on, Odysseus. Let's
You
go check
notice,
the next
you
room.
notice an even smaller bird scratch. Is a slogan that you have all seen before. Is no fun, is no Blinksy. Which you're seeing on every single one of Blinksy's toys that he's crafted.
Okay.
Yeah, let's not mess with those. The last one we found kept shooting darts.
And it didn't end well for it.
Huh?
And it didn't end well for it.
I do want to check the footlockers, though.
Thief.
You find
Huh.
children's clothes.
Hey, they're your size.
I will stab you.
Mm.
Oh, well.
Head back in the hall and
Oh.
check the next room.
No, I was way off. I'm sorry. Bucephalus, it's the name of Alexander the Great.
Oh.
Okay.
The next room is the same kind of deal, except this one doesn't have toys scattered around in it. And then the very last room, the door is already open. As you look inside this chamber, There's a desk, a chair, a tall wooden cabinet, and a strange contraption takes up most of the northern end of the room.
Tim-Tam, they're speaking your language.
Strange what?
Before we go to there, they should have had this in the initial description. You see, you are immediately greeted with 3 creatures, 2 of which are vine blights, and the last one is another one of these people that's covered in vines.
All right, get the
And
flamethrowers.
I'm not going to have you roll initiative. We're just going to keep what you got. So, Tim-Tam, because you all rolled pretty good. Tim-Tam, you go first.
Who goes after me?
After you is Nyhm.
Nice. I just want to try if
Oh.
this is useful.
It's Tim-Tam,
I will.
Nyhm, Saxton, Baddies, and then Hemlock.
So I will. How would I flavor this? I would probably throw like a vial of mysterious liquid to Nyhm as I cast haste on her. Which basically gives you +2 AC. Your speed is doubled, and you have 1 extra action
You
on your
shoot,
turn.
you shoot a blow dart syringe into her, and it's concentrated coffee.
Yeah.
Great. I got espresso and a dart.
On the side, it says
espresso.
in Tim-Tam's writing,
Well-
espresso dart.
Yeah, and that's every turn until
A dartachino.
for 1 minute. Yeah.
Tim-Tam, can I get a Cuban espresso next?
Sadly not, because I already fired the fireball the last time, so I have no more of this.
Okay, so what's in the vial?
Haste. Shot it into you. Cast haste on you.
Oh,
Flavoring it.
okay. I thought it was a separate.
I mean, yeah, not like that. Your speed is doubled. You have an extra action that you can use to attack, dodge, all that kind of fun stuff.
Man,
And,
Lluis, you just turned me into Speedy Gonzalez.
and your AC,
read
it's
about.
+2 also. Yeah, I mean, yeah. As long as I keep concentrating on it, you are super awesome. As
So-
when I stop concentrating, I mean, that's the downside. You will spend a turn doing nothing.
So here's a fun fact. With our level up from last session,
Mhm.
I took the mobile feat, which gave me an additional 10 movement speed. You have just given me 80 feet of movement in a single round,
Yep, that's haste.
not
No.
including dashes.
That's without the dash.
Hmm.
Oh, wow.
And you get 2
So-
dashes if you would want to. Oh, that's not including your bonus action dash. So you technically have 3 dashes if you really wanted to go fast.
Hey guys, you need anything from the other towns?
Hey, do you guys need anything? I'm gonna go get anything. No, there was nothing there. You're like already back.
Just got to the town. They're really depressed. We need to get this wine over there fast.
I mean,
So-
technically, you could use your action to use like a wand of fireballs, which we don't have, but it would be fun.
Yeah, it'd be nice. Well,
Oh, also, Tim-Tam will shoot at the one that looks the weakest.
Okay, so one of the vine blights.
okay.
Uh,
I'll wait until he's done because I do have a question that refers to that, considering my new espresso powers.
Hmm.
It's a 20 to hit.
20 definitely hits. Expressive powers are really nice. Haste is a really nice spell.
I
No,
really like it.
You just
to
gave
cast it
Fry
on
100
another
cups of
person.
coffee.
For force damage.
4? Okay.
Yeah, it rolled pretty bad.
Still blows off some chunks of vine. That's your turn.
Oh, that's right. It's force, not flame.
Yeah, because I have it on the force.
I mean, it was a choice of like force, but you pick one target, or the flame, and you might hit all your friends.
Also, the force hits like in a 120 feet, and the flame it's like 15 feet in front of it.
That's true.
Okay, Espresso Nyhm, you had a question, and I think it's your turn.
Yeah, now that I realize it's force, it negates the question I was going to ask. I was going to see if I'm fast enough to use my, light my rapier from the flame.
Oh,
But
Oh,
so, okay. So
you're
two
Quicksilver
actions.
now.
Yeah. Ooh, Quicksilver. I like that. Is there my two actions can now be both attack actions, correct?
yes.
I mean, I'm gonna read it to you. It says, worst haste, because I'm gonna use it a lot. This spell.
I got no problems.
Until the spell ends, the target speed is doubled. It gains +2 AC, and it has advantage on dexterity saving throws, and it gains additional action on each of its turns. The action can be used only to take the attack, one attack only, dash, disengage, hide, or use an object.
Oof.
When the
Okay.
spell ends, the target can move or take actions until after its next turn.
Quick question about that.
Yep.
If that was used on a monk, would I get 4 base attacks and then
You only-
double the?
You only get 1 extra attack. They do specify.
Yeah, that's
I
why I
think
cast
that's
it on the rogue, because the rogue only has 1 attack, so it has 2 now, and rogue attacks are
If we're gonna,
devastating.
we want to talk min max, the monk is by far the best person to cast haste on. But anyway, whatever. All right, so
Yeah.
super Nyhm, super fast Nyhm.
Flash Nyhm.
The vine blights are like.
Yeah, that was going to be my first target. If I run around behind them, do I get sneak attack?
Yeah, you could. You would technically provoke, but your AC is higher right now.
Well, that's the thing. If I'm taking an attack action with my mobile feat, hit or miss, it does not provoke an attack of opportunity.
Okay, yeah, do that. I was also going to say you still have your bonus action with those 2 actions. So you could just use your bonus action to say you disengage.
True, but if I don't need to do that because of my new mobile feat, I just want to make sure I don't need to do that because of how it says it.
Yeah, no, you're fine. So roll to hit.
Sweet. Absolutely. It's going to be +2, dirty 20.
Yep, that hits.
Nice. Did that increase my damage die for it, or is it still just 1d8?
No, it's still the same.
Still 1d8. Okay.
Someday I will cast Enlarge and Haste on Saxton, and we will have a lot of fun.
Good lord.
Well,
So with my rapier,
do you need to
it's
concentrate on
1d8.
haste?
Yes,
Oh,
I'm
there
concentrating on
are
haste.
2 concentration spells. Yeah.
Oh, Enlarge is also. Oh, dang.
Holy
Yes,
crap.
true.
So with my rapier, the first one is taking 1d8 and 5d6 damage.
Mm-hmm.
So that's 7 damage for the d8. That is 12, 17, 19, 22 snake attack damage.
There is a gust of wind, and Nym's on the other side of it, and it just explodes into vines. As Nyhm turns around and has spiky anime hair, and like lightning's going like. Zzz, zzz.
Ooh.
Is she now blue?
She's now ascended Super Saiyan.
Nice.
Oh.
So, second verse, same as the first. I want to move around behind the second blight and do the exact same thing.
Okay.
Oh, they're gonna be a super duper Saiyan.
Does a 24 hit?
Yes.
All right. 1d8,
Nice.
5d6.
You can only do the
20.
5d6 once around. Keep that in mind.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I did not know that. In that case,
Or else
it's just
everyone would play rogue.
well.
Yeah.
If that's the case, then the other one only takes 7 piercing.
Okay. That's still a lot.
Yes.
To everyone else, it looks like a single attack, essentially. Looks like you just like literally just like plowed through one and like ricochet off the wall and hit the other one.
Yeah, I mean, I have no reason not to effectively be bouncing everywhere.
You add +2 to the damage because of the +2 rapier. You know that, right?
Oh, I thought that was only to the attack roll. That means it's
No,
9.
So 9 damage instead of 7. Got it.
Yes. Nice. And I will end my turn exactly where I started my turn with the party.
Okay.
I did the whole anime barely drawing the
that
sword
all day.
thing and 2 people explode.
it's like a silver shimmer.
You guys want to see me attack some blights? You want to see me do it again?
I'm not even going to waste my energy on the bonus actions. I'm good.
Okay. Saxton. There's still a blight and a vine zombie thing.
All right. I'll go punch the blight out of existence.
All right.
17 to hit.
Yep.
9 damage.
All right. Still up.
Punch it again. 28 to hit.
That hits.
10 damage.
That obliterates it. As it just falls into a pile of vines.
And I will take Uncanny Dodge. Or
Okay.
Patient Defense.
Okay, you spend a key on that. All right. Well, you're the closest. This thing didn't even register that the Jerbeen even entered the room. It doesn't even know what happened. Mostly because it's blind. It's got vines coming through its eye sockets. But it does attack you. And since you have Patient's Defense going, it has disadvantage on its attacks, correct?
Right.
Okay. Uh, 19? Roll pretty good.
Good lord. Yeah, that hits.
Okay. One of the vines moves out as a tendril and it like whips you with it. And you take minimum damage, so 4 slashing damage.
Alright.
Yeah, okay. And then it is Hemlock's turn.
After all that, yeah, I'm gonna use a new cantrip. I point at one of them
There's only one left.
and I point at it,
Okay.
and I cast Hold of Dead. So, Wisdom saving throw.
Okay. The stat block in this thing has magic resistance, but I think that's dumb and makes no sense, so I'm going to say it doesn't. 10.
Okay.
It has not been
Sounds
hurt
good.
yet.
Oh, it hasn't been hurt?
Nope.
Okay. Then a D8.
2d8?
2D8. 13 necrotic damage.
Okay. The you notice the vine part isn't the part that like withers a bit from the necrotic. It's actually the flesh part first.
Okay, that's kind of gross. That's very gross, actually.
Interesting.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to show
Did them
you.
good, guys.
I'm gonna have to show you Resident Evil 2 remake of the plant zombies there.
Oh.
I think didn't
We kind of did, but you didn't get to see all of it.
Okay.
Because we did like part
Okay.
B with anyway. Tim-Tam.
Yeah, what is it?
So
There's-
does anyone
There's one left.
look hurt though? Of our team, I mean.
No.
Yeah,
Yes.
no.
Well, I mean, Saxton is technically.
Because I feel like sharing today. I will cast Cure Wounds on Saxon.
You shoot another dart. It's filled with grandma soup.
Ow!
9 HP. Back for Saxton. Tim-Tam will shoot, because I built Tim-Tam for a reason. And it's a natural 1, so it's in an 11 to hit.
Oh no, natural 1?
Yes.
Roll me D100.
Oh, Tim-Tam.
As
Why?
we pull out the crit fail table from Xanathar's Lost Notes to everything else.
25.
Oh, that's a low number. Okay, Tim-Tam's gun end, like it goes to fire and like the head like spins backwards and it gets stuck into the wall for a sec. And next turn it should be available again.
It's okay, buddy. I'll love you. Anyway,
Oh.
you did your best. That was important. But please, the next time, hit the target.
Nyhm.
That's my turn. I'm talking to a turret that is not sentient at all.
He still probably appreciates.
There's little bracket paragraph or bracket parentheses, not paragraph, and it says sad peepee.
Oh.
Espresso Nyhm, it is your turn.
So once again, I'd like to use my amazing new speed to immediately get behind the target.
Okay. You hear like a Dragon Ball Z like you're just behind the target.
I love that. And one more attack with the rapier.
All right. You seen Jerbeen, oh my legendary.
Nani?
26 to hit.
Yeah, that hits. You get sneak attack damage.
Yay. See if I can mess this one up. $17 damage this time.
Ooh. You stab it like from the bottom upwards in like a skewer, diagonally through the torso. And you think you definitely hit something vital, but as you pull it out, like green goop along with blood spills out, and it's still standing. Barely.
Okay.
That was your first action.
Exactly. So my second action can be another attack.
Mm-hmm.
Just without the sneak.
You pull the Robert Downey Jr. Slow motion. Just come pop. No.
Now, if only I could sweep the legs, I could make it prone, give Saxton another target. Roll to hit again?
Yep.
Just making sure.
There's a feat for that. You can get martial stuff.
Not anymore, I can't. At least not for 4 levels, and I don't think we're going to hit another 4.
Yeah, that's true.
So this one is just 18 to hit.
Yeah, that is.
Cool. And only 1d8 this time. I really wanted to reach for those extra d6.
Plus your dex.
Hey!
Plus 2.
Max damage. So 10 more piercing.
All right. This time you go from the opposite angle, and it swallows the blade. And you pull out what appears to be a bulb to like a flower or something. It's the size of a heart.
Max damage is 10 piercing.
8 plus the 2.
Plus your dex, right?
Yeah.
Oh, no, yeah. Plus your dex, yeah.
Wait, my dex?
Yeah.
No, I was only adding the plus 2 from the sword. I didn't think the dex counted.
I mean, it's a normal attack. It's not like an offhand attack.
Yeah, melee weapons use your strength modifier, but if it's finesse like the rapier, you can use strength or dexterity modifier.
Well, son of a...
Now you know.
Indeed, which makes that attack...
Yeah, so you add your dex, the plus 2, and
it's 14.
whatever you rolled.
Okay, it had 3 hit points left, so it's very dead. Like I said, you pull out the plant heart thing.
Yikes. And with my movement, I want to do the exact same thing, pull my rapier out of it so quick that it levitates in air for a second and get right back to my starting position as if I hadn't moved a muscle.
All right, and we're out of initiative because everything is super dead.
All right. I'm going to take a nap. Nyhm, do you want to run out there and tell them it's clear?
What do you mean? I just did.
Okay.
Okay, so Nyhm, how do you feel? Because I tried something on you.
You notice
It's super safe. I'm not testing with you like at all.
I don't think Nyhm would realize this, but for everyone else, Nyhm is like breathing really fast and is very twitchy.
You feel good. You feel like, can I check your pulse like super quick?
I feel like I've slept for 3 days and have as much energy. What did you do? You're all talking really slow.
And then that's immediately when a wave of lethargy hits you. And you're
Yeah.
just like,
Oh,
"Ugh." For just like a brief moment, you're like lightheaded and get a little bit of vertigo, but then you, within around 6 seconds, you're out of it. And you're fine. You're like you were before Tim-Tam did the thing. AKA haste is done.
Huh.
I'll take some notes.
I could go for that again.
Oh, yeah. I'll make
Fun
more
fact.
of this.
Way back in 2nd edition, when you cast a haste spell on somebody, they lost a year of their life. every
Yep.
time.
Yep.
2nd edition was super hardcore.
Airly lost like 10 years of her life because they continually use.
I mean, to
haste.
be
she's an
fair,
elf.
necromancy
She's an
drained
elf.
levels.
Yeah, there's a lot of level drain and other nasty things. Whatever. Everyone does their victory animations. All the lights go, and you notice that the like I said, in this room there is a strange contraption taking up most of the room in the back. A desk, a chair, and a tall wooden cabinet. And I guess a bunch of vines and a corpse.
I
Fine.
guess if nobody else is, I'll go ahead and start checking the drawers and desks and anything I can open.
Give me just a sec.
So, Lluis, while we've got this little break, I do want to say that I greatly appreciate the chance to become even more anime than I was before.
Yeah, I mean, when I was reading the spell, I was like, okay, this seems super powerful. I need to try this. Of course, on me, it's super dumb to use it. Because I barely need to move.
Me,
And
on the
most
other
of my damage come from like the adding of me like just shooting one thing and Tim-Tam shooting another thing. So I mean, it's like there's no use for me.
Yeah, I'm not going to say I will never accept that. That is an awesome spell.
Okay, apologies about that. My dad was asking about stuff. So, as you search around this room, you see that in the cabinet are 2 keys, each on a loop of twine. They are definitely different keys. The teeth are different on both.
Would I have recognized anything that those keys would have gone to?
You remember that the vats had keyholes on the top of the lids.
Okay, there's no reason to mess with them then.
Okay. Well, with that, you pretty much cleared out everything.
Sweet.
Think we can take a long rest before we head back to town.
I mean,
There's bunk beds here, but I don't think it's super safe.
And Nyhm ran out there and told them that it was safe to come back in.
Are
Speed
we-
of light.
are we? Hang on. Are we actually going with that? That I had such speed that I literally ran out there, told the workers that it's fine to come back in?
Sure, why not? At this point, the rest of that whole Corvum family is coming back. As you all look out the nearest window, you can see them coming out of the woods, heading back to the winery.
Oh,
Yeah, you forgot they were out there, didn't you?
You see a
Yeah.
trail that's still smoking from where they went there and back.
Do you need new shoes?
Shoes.
wear shoes.
You need new feet.
Look down at everyone's feet, and you just realize no one wears shoes in this universe.
We have, I mean,
foot guards.
some people has like talons and the other have toe beans. Why
No,
would
no,
you
no,
need
no.
foot? What would you need?
Meanwhile, in the
shoes.
starting village you guys are in, there's just a really sad Barovian commoner, and he's just like shoe cobbler. And he's
No.
I mean, technically, the deer ones maybe would like wear some kind of hoofs. I mean, like I don't know how you
Horseshoes.
call it. What you put on the horse? Horseshoes?
Oh, horseshoes, yeah.
My mind went somewhere very dark when you mentioned the shoe cobbler. Instead of the shoe cobbler sitting there crying, you just go to the shoe cobbler shop, look inside, you just see a pair of shoes and legs dangling from the ceiling.
No.
Oh wow, okay. But yeah, so they get back here, super grateful. Davian shakes all of your hands, both of his hands. Is very grateful. Allows you to stay here for as long as you need to rest, especially after everything. Davian's boys, which are like young adult aged Corvum, because he's a fairly old Corvum. His feathers are kind of faded, and he's molting constantly. Not a lot of it, but just like feathers do keep coming off every once in a while. The two boys help clean up the rest of the mess that you guys made, and
I'll help.
they get the kegs onto the wagon, and you guys notice the wagon already had 3 on it, but it can hold up to 6, so you put all 6 on it with their help. And they show you how to do it and stuff.
I'll ask them if they are going to take that to the city.
Us take it to the city?
Yeah. How do you do it usually? Like, what's the deal with the whoever you? I mean, I guess you sell this to someone.
Yes. Yeah, but Father Davian, he should know where we should be taking it. It has been quite a while now, I think about it. Oh, jeez. Probably Valaki. Or maybe Kresik.
Does
probably-
someone like come for it, or you take it there?
How do we take it there in our wagon?
Okay.
Are the horses okay?
We haven't seen any horses.
Both the young men look worried, and they go around the back where the wagon was at, and you notice that there's a stable connected to the side where the wagon's at, and you open it, and there are 2 spots for horses, and the horses are fine. They let out a breath of relief.
Hemlock? Hemlock?
Yeah.
So we have 2 horses here. I don't know how long they have been alone. Can you talk to them and make sure they are okay, and do your magic thing where we make friends and worry about them and then cry for them and all that stuff?
Yes, of course.
Oh.
I
Nice.
would love to.
Oh, that one's name is Champagne, and that one's name is Pokey.
Make sure they like their names too.
Hello.
Hello, hello. Meow meow.
Oh my god.
That horse sounds like a cat.
I mean, they are the size of a horse, so you can talk to them.
You got any hay? I'm really starved. You can you can almost see their ribs.
Oof.
Oh no. You haven't been Tim-Tam, they haven't been fed in a while.
You notice just then that the Elver is the one that came up to the stable with you. Man, you are such a drama queen, cat. Anyway, and it has a bunch of hay and throws it in there, and you're like, oh, thank goodness. And you just start going to town on it. And when they
Besides,
finish up, or at least enough to talk, they go over to the water beds that they have and start gulping down water.
they're kind of doing a thing right now. I don't know if I should bother them.
And if you said they're starving, we should probably like wait at least a day to
Yeah.
make them work so they can like eat and rest properly.
Yeah. Oh, I definitely agree with you. I think that these lovely babies, honestly, are need to take time for themselves. So we should tell Nyhm and Saxton that we're going to wait a day for them.
Okay, I mean we can also probably like help tidy the place and repair.
Yeah.
I can help
yeah.
repair some.
While we're resting and everything, talk with the elder here and ask if he's
Yes.
noticed any of the hags around here or any other strange going-ons.
No, there weren't any hags of what you described. But there were. But I did see initially when the place got attacked, 3 of these druids attacked, and they were 3 ladies.
Did you happen to see where the 3 ladies were heading or came from?
Yes, as we went to hide into the trees, in the woods, we noticed eventually a bunch of other wildlings came in. They must have been shamans, leaders of their group. But what was peculiar was those 3 were the only ones that came out. And one of them was carrying a staff that they didn't have when they went in there. It was a cursed, wicked-looking thing. It was a large black branch. And as he describes it further, you immediately recognize it as sounding just like the big tree that you guys saw at the top of the hill.
Didn't we burn that tree to the ground?
We burned a tree to the ground.
Yeah, before we left that hill, we torched that tree. Cut it down with Axebane and set it on fire. Or Treebane.
Axebane.
Axebane, yeah. Kind of ironic.
The shield.
It's just a can of Axe Body sprayed on a stick.
It's Axebane.
Axebane. Sounds pretty dope, though.
I
Well,
actually really like that now that I think of it as a shield.
Well, I guess it's a good thing that you did that. Those wildlings have been worshipping the Dark Lord of these lands for the last few generations.
Why would they attack you, though?
I don't know.
But,
I'm gonna let the cat in.
Okay. Wait, it's outside? Making that much.
Silly cat. Okay. So,
No, he's outside the door.
Oh,
here he is. Here's the baby who wants attention always. So, yes. Well, you can stay as long as you want, but tomorrow I'm going to have my 2 oldest boys take the wagon to Krezk. That's the one that's most late. And then they're going to take 3 of the barrels there, and then they're going to take 3 barrels to Valaki.
it's Krezk that we've been holding up at, isn't it?
It's Valky, isn't it?
You all have gone to the town of Valaki, but you've never been to Krezk.
Okay.
You do remember way back when that one priest in the initial village you went into said that probably would have been the safest place for Irina to go,
yeah.
and suggested going there.
Yeah.
It's something about an abbot that could protect her.
Well, you could rest the night and travel with them.
We would be grateful, but you've already done so much for us already. There's not much we could give you in return except for wine.
I mean, there's like, I guess, two options. Like, either we accompany them and make sure everything is safe. I don't know if they will come back here though. And the other one is like we take the 3 barrels to I forgot the name of the city we came from.
Valaki.
Maliki.
Yeah, they're difficult
So
names.
I mean, it's the process. So they only have to go to one city and then they can come back.
Yeah, there's
But-
only one cart.
Yeah, but I mean, that's what I was gonna say. That you only have one card, right?
Yes, one wagon. We bought it. I bought it off the Vistani a long time ago.
If you didn't get the message downstairs, one of those vats was poisoned.
Oh dear.
Two of those vats were poisoned, and I'm fairly certain I used some chalk to mark them.
What a shame. What a waste. But thank you. That could save us from a lot of problems in the future. We'll drain that one and thoroughly clean it before we fill it again.
If I was to try it, would I be able to figure out what kind of poison it is?
I don't know. Are you a poison expert?
I mean, I could describe how it tastes. Anyone that does anything with alchemy or anything.
And wouldn't be drinking poison not be that wise?
I'll be fine.
Do it yourself. Just don't drink too much. The last thing I would want is you to kill over after everything you've done.
Which one did the druid drop the bottle or flask into?
The one furthest on the left on the map.
How deep is it?
They were about 10 feet tall. Barrels. They're pretty big.
Would I be able to dive in and get it?
Get what?
The flask, see if it had any of the poison residue still in it.
Sure.
Okay. I'll fish that out.
Before you do that, they say, why don't we just drain it and then you can get it?
Fine.
You see them set up. They got like almost like an aqueduct thing where they got it set so it drains out of the building. And they've dug in a bit of a trench. And as they're doing this, it's starting to get dark.
I'll taste it as it flows down the trough.
If you don't mind waiting, we will do it in the morning. Or it's getting dark.
All right. Yeah, I guess we take a long rest.
You know, Saxton, just because you can drink the poison doesn't mean you should.
The Jerbeen's right.
But where's the fun in it?
I can
What?
give you advantage on Constitution saving throws, if that helps.
He's
don't-
immune to it.
I don't know what that
Oh,
means.
he is. I can.
Also, don't burn spell slots, guys. We are a team and a flash of genius.
You are very smart. But your name was Tim-Tam, right?
Yes, indeed.
It's very rare to meet other Corvum that aren't from our family.
Yeah, well, I've seen a lot of them in the city. You all look very different from the Corvum I'm used to, though.
Oh. Well, this
But
valley
it is
this
nice.
valley is very isolated. And very few can leave it, unfortunately.
for now.
But come. You all have been through so much today. Least I can do is give you a place to sleep. Rest your bodies and minds.
I'm already out cold.
I mean, I'm pretty sure we all would appreciate.
Meanwhile, upstairs, like Saxton, like half of his body is on the bed, but the other half is dangling off the bed, and he's in the room where the kids' toys are at. And like one of the like toddler Corvum like go up there, and they like see him there, and they're not sure what to think of it, and they just like turn around and go back downstairs. But anyways, so you all can mark down a long rest.
Yay!
As you all rest at the Wizard of Wines, and nothing happens during the night.
For once.
The next morning, you all wake up to the sound of the vat being drained. That's not really quiet. A lot of because it's draining it. The poisoned one. And to whoever it concerns, they do get the flask and they hand it to whoever wanted it, which I think was Saxton.
It's got any of the poison residue in it if we have someone take a look at it.
You notice it has a little bit of the wine still in it. Anyone have alchemy tools and proficient?
No.
Or a poisoner's kit proficient?
Name?
No, poison was never my thing.
Okay. I mean, I don't know because I think rogues can get it, but I don't know if you.
It's an option when you make the class, but or character.
Let's just hang on to it for right now then.
Well, my boys are going to be heading out soon. Rezik, if you are wanting to join them as escort, we'd be very appreciative. And I'll definitely spread the word around of your good deeds. And like I said, I'm sorry we can't pay you. Or we only have enough gold to just keep this place running, after all. But we can offer you as much wine as you want, as you can carry.
I mean, I know a couple bottles, extra bottles, would make the people in the city happy.
Okay, so meta-wise, I'll say like once a week, he'll give you guys like 1 bottle of fine wine for free each, which is pretty nice.
I'll definitely take him up on that offer.
Okay. He sees that you already took 2, but he doesn't care. Considers that as part of the payment.
Okay, to be fair, I did leave them in the cart. I specifically made mention that I dropped everything and left it in the cart with the barrels when we were going to use it.
Oh, then never mind.
Don't give me that guilty conscience BS.
As you were rifling through the child's toys.
Shut up.
So, you joined them on their travel. And you notice that as you all go to leave, all of those ravens from before seem to follow you like a cloud.
That's either a good or a bad omen.
I'll look at Hemlock.
that is a good omen. The ravens here seem to be the protectors of these lands, protecting the innocent from the dark deeds of these woods. As the Corvum looks up at them, they all go, hello, 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 as you yell hello to them. Everyone else is just, ah!
They say hi.
Oh, how considerate.
You can speak, Raven.
I can speak with all kinds of animals when I'm allowed.
Sorry.
That is fascinating.
Sorry, that was a jab at my friends. You know how we get. We're best friends and everything.
I mean, to be fair, we've had issues before with that.
The other brother says, "Wow, talked about passive aggressiveness." They just awkwardly end the conversation and keep going. And Nyhm.
I mean, would you like to talk to them or something? I don't. Go ahead.
Yeah, sure. What are they thinking about?
Hey, what are you thinking about?
You.
Mine?
They're thinking about me or you. One of us.
I mean, Hemlock, it's probably you because you're talking to them and they are ravens.
Okay.
Oh.
I mean, they said you, so it could be you in general, or it could be me. I don't know. Anyway.
It is then that you all are now off of the dirt path, heading uphill now. Heading back up to the old Slavic road again. And instead of going left, like you normally do, you go right. And you cross the river bridge. And shortly after that, that is when Nyhm notices that there is a log, a rotted log on the side of the trail that is hollow, and you think you see like a leather strap poking out of the side.
Okay. Would I be quick enough to hop down, try to grab it, and then hop back onto the cart without having to ask them to?
Yeah, they're not going fast, especially because these aren't that nice of roads.
Okay, I would like to do that.
All right, you hop down, and you can see that the leather strap goes to a leather-wrapped bundle that is stuffed inside the hollow log. It's about backpack size amount of volume.
Bigger or smaller than me?
Bigger.
I'll try to get it out.
All right. As you pull it out, you see what's inside. Is one set of common clothes, sized for some kind of humble folk of larger size than you.
That's all that's in there?
That's all that's in there.
That's weird. Do I recognize the clothing at all?
Yeah, it looks very, very much like the clothing from these lands. Very Slavic.
Common clothes.
Yes.
I don't know what I expected.
It's got bluish gray kind of color scheme.
Tracksuits.
Is there any tag or anything? Identifiers?
Nope.
A wallet?
Nope. He begged to get in here, and now that thumping is him batting at the door. Classic cat.
I mean, if there's nothing spectacular about him, I don't notice anything odd or
Nope, not
anything
really.
else.
You could easily roll up the sleeves and wear them yourself if you really wanted to.
I'll ask our friends if anybody needs an extra set of clothes.
Nope, I'm good. I'm good too.
I don't know whether I should try to take them with us
At
or
this
leave
point,
them.
they've definitely stopped the wagon because you went to investigate that.
Oh shoot! I didn't want to ask him to do that.
Oh, we don't want to leave. We don't want to leave you behind.
Right on the log, are there any signs of like struggle or tracks?
Survival, I guess, since you're looking for that kind of stuff.
At advantage, I guess, since I would look around with him if he's
Yeah,
trying.
yeah. Nym's helping, so
20
advantage.
25.
It looks like nothing's really interacted with the log or anything for quite a while. You actually do notice that a little bit of moss from inside the log was starting to grow, trying to grow a little bit on the leather straps, but didn't really get to. So you think these clothes have been here for quite a while, at least a few weeks.
Yeah, should be good then. To head on it.
Who would leave clothes hidden away in a log?
I've heard of those that have Kren's blessing in these woods, and that are able to take on a more primal form. Usually and when they're in that form, they lose their clothes, tear them apart, or whatnot. At least that's what I've heard.
Then it's probably safe to assume that somebody either left them here for themselves or for the other people that would need the replacements.
I guess so.
Who is Kren?
You all know that Kren is the deity of the Vulpin, the Foxfolk, and Wolffolk. Kren is all about slyness and darkness and tapping into one's innate animal instincts that's within every folk. Bird folk, humble folk, otherwise.
Yeah. Okay. I'll put the clothes back, or the bag back where I found it. No reason to take it if that's the reason somebody would leave them here.
Okay.
Sorry for the interruption.
Oh. No. That's okay. Better safe than sorry. Yeah. And they go off.
How fast is the wagon?
How fast is the wagon?
Yeah.
Right now it's traveling at your guys' normal travel speed, just because this is difficult terrain. But once you guys get past the bridge and you get on Old Slavic Road, technically it doubles your traveling pace.
Okay.
And that's when you see it. And by it, I mean Kresikstav. Let me pull it up. Okay. So the road branches north and climbs a rocky it says escarpment? That's weird. I'm just going to say encampment. Ending at a gatehouse built into a 20-foot high wall of stone, reinforced with buttresses every 50 feet or so. The wall enclosed a settlement on the side of a snow-dust mountain spur. Beyond the wall, you can see tops of snow-covered pines and thin, white wisps of smoke. A somber toll of a bell comes from a stone abbey that clings to the mountainside high above the settlement. The steady chime is inviting, a welcome change from the deathly silence and oppressive fog of which you have grown accustomed. It is hard to tell from this distance, but there seems to be a switchback road clinging to the cliffs that lead up from the walled settlement to this abbey. The air grows colder as you approach the walled settlement, and two square towers with peaked roofs flank a stone archway into which you see a pair of 12-foot-tall iron-bound wooden doors. Carved into each arch above the door is the name Krezik. The walls that extend from the gatehouse are 20 feet high. Atop the parapet, you see 4 figures wearing fur hats clutching spears, and they watch you nervously. 2 of them have bows. The other 2 have pikes. What brings you to Krezik? And then one of the Corvum say, "We're from the Wizards of Wines. We've come for the wine delivery." And then the tense build of the guards up there, like one of them actually has like an arrow on the notched goes to put it away, and you hear, "Thank goodness! Come in!" And then that's when the doors of the gate go. As you start to open the doors into the village of Krizik. This mist-shrouded village beyond the wall is nothing more than a scattering of humble wooden cottages along dirt roads that stretch between strands of snow-dusted pine trees. So many of these trees, in fact, that it constitutes as a forest on its own inside this gated village. To the northeast, great cliffs rise sharply, and the road winding up to the abbey is easy to see from this vantage. And it is here where we will end it for tonight.
No.
What? We're ending where we're not in combat? What's wrong with you?
I don't know.
Hey,
Refreshing.
at least it's going to be a great new start for a new year, okay?
Yes, it
Yeah.
will.
Better than you waking up coughing up blood again.
It's just a normal Wednesday.
How long have we been playing this campaign?
Quite a while. Over 20
Yeah,
sessions.
right. It's been pretty 20.
It's been well over 20. Or at least it
Okay.
feels like it. I don't think I actually been waiting. Anyway, while I look up how many sessions it's been, why don't we do some plugs? I think we will start with Callie, aka Hemlock.
Hello. Hi. I'm Callie, or Cap Callie on Twitter, and I do have commissions open, but I'm tired.
Aren't we all?
But so, I just got done with a bunch of them, and I can take some, but I will definitely going forward have a cap, and like for my my quick commissions, because people seem to be taking advantage of my quick commissions. So, but
So-
if you would like to, go ahead.
I'm sorry, I have to ask. So does that mean Cap Callie's going to have a cap, Callie?
Haha. Do you already have an inspiration point? It's never too late.
Fortunately, I do, yeah.
Oh, damn. Okay. I was about to say you earned one right at the end of 2020. Sorry, continue.
Yeah, there's gonna be a cap, but for special, I'm nice, and I probably won't say no if you ask me to do 8 portraits of people. It's fine, but don't expect it like in 3 days before Christmas.
It's Christmas.
Before
It's
Christmas.
Christmas again. Yeah, but my next game is on Friday. It's Retroverse, and I am going on an adventure with my 2 best friends, the Trey Horny Boys. That's what we're called, and and that's it for me. That's on this channel at 7:30 on Friday.
Cool. Saxton, do you have any plugs to end the year?
Well, just say, I guess, if you're as all tired as we are this year and ready to start anew, glad you could have joined us through 2020. And from our dungeon to yours, see you next year.
Oh, thanks. Yes, thank you everyone who watches the show. I did look it up. I can't believe it, but we actually are over 20 sessions. Last episode was session 28, and we started in May.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah, right?
Wow.
I mean, it still feels kind of new. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah. So,
How many
How
months did Avernus last?
Yeah, how many sessions did we have with Avernus?
I'm not prepared.
Oh, sorry.
Oh no,
You
DM
are
not
not
prepared. Say
prepared.
that. Oh.
Let me look. It was 31, so you're not far off from that.
So we're probably. I mean, I'm still surprised because this campaign is technically shorter, in levels at least.
Mm-hmm.
But we are probably going to take longer to clear. Nice.
We're taking the scenic route.
I mean,
Oh, I'm loving it.
it's ironic, but Kren's Valley has a lot more to it than the entire first layer of hell, apparently. At least for you guys, and for this adventure specifically.
Yeah.
Nyhm, you got any plugs?
Yeah. If I'm not mistaken, this Saturday on this very channel, we are having one final game. Or no, I'm sorry. That's actually the first game of Saltmarsh, aren't we?
Yeah.
Or are we taking that off?
That should be this week. I'm feeling super unprepared. Let me check.
Uh-oh. I may not be correct in my
we
plug
should
for that
be.
game then.
We should. I'm just, we have alternating games. I just want to make sure.
Yeah, because it's Corruption Crew this Friday, isn't it?
No, it's vaccine.
Vaccine.
So I think it's the Silver
Oh.
Fleet.
Yeah, it would be Mystery of the Silver Fleet then. I apologize. This entire holiday season has gotten my schedule completely kerfuffled.
Yeah, it is the
No,
dark.
it's
yeah,
fine.
It's
I just had a
dark
little
matter.
bit of a panic.
See, I didn't know either. I had to check. No, you're fine.
Yikes. Okay. Well, instead of Ghost of Saltmarsh, it'll be Miss Crap. Fuck it. I give up. No plug.
That's okay.
No.
You're fine. Lluis, any plugs?
So yeah, check me out on Twitter. I'm at Lluis. I'm not gonna spell that, but it's fine. I do a lot of D&D content, and I try to draw the stuff as sexy as possible. Also, so if you're into sexy stuff, you should be fine on my little space there. Other than that, check out my Patreon. I'm closed for commissions unless you're a Patreon, but you should absolutely, if you're looking for like quick character art, you should check like Scotty. He works really well and really fast. Callie has a cap now, but you still should check her out. And if you follow Scotty's Twitch channel and the other games, you'll also meet other artists who are also amazing and really fun games. So yeah, check that out.
Cool, thanks. With that note, I'll say thank you everyone for watching. This has been a great campaign that we started way back in May on this horrible Barovia-like year.
Yeah.
But here's to hoping for a better new year, and we'll see you all in 2021. Bye.
Bye.
Oh my god.
Wow.
We survived, yay!
Wow.